Good morning, Bushwhackers! Today we're going to find out, will it coffee? But before that, remember to like and subscribe and comment down below. And don't forget to press that notification bell down below. Now, each of the coffees is not mixed with coffee. These are alternative decaf medicinal type of coffees. So let's get ready for the first coffee. Our first coffee that we are trying is acorn coffee. So let's smell it. Doesn't smell like acorns. Now these acorns I leached and then did all the processing and then toasted. Everything that we're drinking I basically is dried and then toasted to be an alternative coffee kind of substitute. So, you want cheers? Cheers! Let's drink up. A little bit of bitterness. Now, I'm not a coffee drinker, but you are. Now, how is this?
It's good, but it's like if you took a coffee a little bit, like the bitterness of a coffee, but like the flavor of a good tea, like a black tea. It's more probably closer to black tea, other than it's not the color of black tea.
No, this is a very tannish coloration to it.
Yeah, it's more like a black tea.
So, what would you rate this to coffee standards?
This is more like that idea of a Hawaiian where it's not super hit you in the face bitterness. Maybe a 7.5 with this.
Okay. I'm not going to be rating any of this stuff, mainly because I don't drink coffee. So, I'm trying to figure out which one of the coffees that we are trying you would recommend to me. Will acorns coffee?
Yeah.
Our next coffee that we are trying is Burdock Root. But this is common burdock. So let's try it. Let's smell. He hasn't smelled it yet. Smells kind of what you would think of burdock root. But everything's roasted. Cheers. Very smooth. It's actually, can you notice that? Very smooth kind of tasting. Sweet. Very sweet.
I'm trying to think what it would be like. Caramelly a little bit.
Yeah, I taste that. I almost taste that caramel flavor. When you finish it, there's almost that like slight hint of caramel right at the back of your palate. And what would you rate this as?
Probably give this an 8.
You would give this an 8?
It's a little more closer to coffee than the other one.
Okay, that's gonna tell a lot of people. I hear acorn coffee is used a lot, but is now after this video, a lot of people are gonna make burdock root coffee.
Oh, and the bitter and sweetness.
Let's see that happen.
The bitter and sweetness of this is more like a Hawaiian.
Will burdock root coffee?
Yes.
Our next flavor that we are trying of coffee is bull thistle. So let's smell it. Very dark smelling. Smells slightly medicinal. Okay, let's cheers. Oh, that's even more smooth. That's really smooth. Sweet. Wow.
Again, that's smooth like a Hawaiian.
Wow. That is actually shocking how smooth this is.
Kind of chocolatey a little bit. And some coffees are chocolatey.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. Now, to give anybody at this point of watching through the video, I am not rating or saying yes or no to this of will it coffee because I don't drink coffee. He's the only one that's saying yes or no. Will Bull Thistle coffee.
Yes.
Our next flavor that we are trying of coffees is Shagbark Hickory. So, he hasn't smelled it yet. Let's smell. Very sweet smell, right?
Yeah. All these are like Hawaiian.
Let's try it. Ready? Ooh.
That's caramel.
I have like a vanilla hint too.
Vanilla, like
wow.
That's more like, you know,
That's a vanilla.
those flavored
caramel.
coffees, like that, like a caramel vanilla coffee or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where it still has that little bitter note to it. So if you like that type of coffee, I would recommend this.
Not as smooth as the last one, but still smooth. Now, what would you rate this as?
I'm going to give this 8.3.
Oh, so this is even better than what we
This
had
is the
already?
best.
This is the best so far. So, Shagbark Hickory. Willet Coffee.
Yes.
Our next flavor that we are trying is Chaga. So, let's smell it. Sweet smelling.
It almost smells like Moxie a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, smell it again.
Actually, in traditional like root beer and
yeah, root beer.
in traditional root beer they stick chaga in it. Moxie would be very similar, and I would say there's chaga in Moxie. Describe a little bit of the smell that you're getting, bud.
Like that root beer-ish. A slight, like a chocolatey. Like, I'm not saying like you go to Cadbury and you pick up some chocolate. Not that type of chocolate. I'm talking about like cocoa powder or like cocoa nib stuff.
Yeah.
That type of chocolate.
I'm getting a hint of earthy. Now chaga is a mushroom, so there's going to be maybe that little bit of earthy to it. Let's cheers. Drink up. Not extremely strong.
Has that slight bitterness that you get
Yep, there's a bitter
from
alcohol.
coffee.
Yep.
It's more like,
So what would you rate this as, bud?
I'll give this a 9 because I actually like chaga.
Will Chaga Coffee.
Yes.
Our next flavor that we are trying is Beaked Hazelnut. So, let's smell it. Extremely sweet smelling. Describe the smell that you're getting a little bit here, bud.
Smells like hazelnuts.
Well, because it's hazelnuts.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, that's
on point.
Yeah.
You're 100% on point. It's hazelnuts.
It is sweet.
Very sweet smelling.
You probably don't need sugar with this one. But
Probably not.
chaga, if you're kind of not really into really that super bitter type of flavor and strong flavor, you put some sugar with that. This, I don't think it needs any sugar.
Let's cheers. Let's drink up.
That's sweet.
Wow, that's really sweet and
That's weird.
really smooth.
That's weird. Does,
Mmm. That's smooth. Real smooth.
almost vanilla-y a little bit. Vanilla.
Yeah, I'm getting like a vanilla hint. Yep.
I'm saying if you put a little dash of like maybe cocoa powder in this, no sugar, just like a little bit of cocoa powder, like a pinch or something, and this much, you like stirred it real good up, maybe like heat it up so then the cocoa can mix with it, and then chilled it in the fridge, you could have something very similar to a cappuccino.
So what would you give this as a rating, bud?
An 8.
You would give it an 8? This is good. Very smooth. Can you even notice that?
Yeah, it's very.
Imagine like someone just drinking water. This is smoother than drinking water. Would you say so far of what we have drank, this is the smoothest?
Yeah.
Will beat hazelnut coffee.
Yes.
Our next flavor that we are trying is dandelion. So a lot of people think, is this close to coffee? Or is this just a medicinal kind of tea? Let's find out. So let's smell. Just smelling it, it's very bitter kind of smell. Nothing like what you would probably get from coffee. This has a very amber color to it. Very amber. Do you agree?
Yep.
Yep. So describe a little bit what you're smelling.
Roasted, a little bit like type of smell in there. Caramelly. That's what you want.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that.
Some types of coffees you actually want that caramelly type of smell.
Let's cheers. And let's try. A little smooth. Not as bitter as what I was thinking.
It's a bit bitter,
but it's bitter. You have to be used to like bitter foods to be fine just with this without sugar. But if you don't really eat any bitter foods, I recommend not going for this if you're going for something that has no sugar. But you can add a little bit of sugar for this. And this is also good for your liver. And also if you're going for a detox.
Yeah, that is bitter like a French roast.
Like a French roast?
If you drink to say no sugar in a French roast, you just drink straight, it's bitter like that.
Now what would you rate this as?
7.5.
7.5? Will Dandelion Root Coffee.
Yes.
Our next flavor that we are trying is Sarsparilla. Look at the color, very gold looking. Do you agree, bud? That's kind of like gold.
What would you say? A ginger ale?
Sure.
Color? Yeah, a good ginger ale.
Oh, let's smell it. Really sweet smelling.
Very sweet. There's like almost like that back smell of like a molasses a little bit.
I'm getting more honey.
Yeah, honey. Yeah, that's
honey.
What it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a honey with the smell. And let's cheers. Okay. It's smooth.
Yep.
Ooh, the fin. Okay, actually, that's really smooth.
Yep.
Wow. Sweet. Just describe of what you're actually tasting towards coffee.
Smoothness, like a Hawaiian. There's not much bitterness.
So what would you rate this as?
Give it an 8.5.
Will Sarsparilla coffee.
Yes.
Our next and last flavor that we are trying is pine bark. So this is from the cortex that you can make chips out of. Stay tuned. We might actually make a will it chip video. So comment down below if you want to see that. Let's smell. Smells like a Christmas tree. Nah, it smells like pine bark. Like somebody's lumbering the woods. Smells like lumber.
Yeah.
Right? Smells like lumber.
Yep. Smells like Home Depot.
Nice gold amber color. So let's cheers. And wow, that's smooth.
Oh yeah.
Sweet, smooth.
Smooth, but there's still that bitterness.
Yep. Yeah, what would you give this as a rating?
An 8. If somebody's really looking for a coffee, I would recommend this. It's the Chaga or this are the ones that, like, if somebody
If you're going towards the, like, flavor towards coffee, chaga and pine. I want to see, like comments down below if you are going to now try pine bark as a alternative coffee. Will pine bark coffee?
Yes.
But what was your favorite one?
The Chaga.
The Chaga? Mine was the hazelnut. The beaked hazelnut was my favorite. Nice and smooth. A sweet vanilla-y kind of caramel flavor was in there.
If you took...
That was really amazing. But
combined our favorite flavors. Mine being the Chaga and...
the hazelnut?
Yeah, the hazelnut.
So, combine those two.
You got a nice good cappuccino. If you want to switch from a coffee but still want that like coffee vibe type of thing, those two would be very good together. That's gonna be your closest.
If you want to see more, go down in the description below, click the link to my channel or Brandon's channel, or press the round subscribe buttons to both of our channels to help both of us get to 1,000 subscribers. And next time, remember to get outside, get fresh air, and have fun. See ya.